Okay, good morning and good evening and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Excel at ND event. This event is hosted by the International Student and Scholar Affairs, which is ISA in short. Thank you so much for turning on your camera, and we look forward to this discussion. I'd like to introduce myself. I am Miranda, and I work at ISA. ISA, the International Student and Scholar Affairs, is part of the Notre Dame International, and we support and engage international students and scholars at Notre Dame, and we help you guys to navigate the challenges and help you to adapt to the campus environment. Today I am joined by my colleague, Dulce. We will MC the event together. Dulce, would you like to say hi quickly?
Yes, hi. Thank you guys for being here. My name is Dulce, and I have joined the ISA team about 4 months ago. And so I've had the pleasure of working with some of our international students already. And it's been such a joy to be here. And I'm hoping that we can answer some of those questions that you probably have and really help you to excel at ND today.
Thank you, Dulce. And so we're so excited to meet you via Zoom today. And we're also very, very much looking forward to seeing you in person in August. So in the past months, a lot of you have attended the immigration information sessions on Tuesdays. Guess what? We're going to continue this pattern. Starting today, for the next 4 Tuesdays, we will talk about your exciting upcoming journey at Notre Dame as an international student. So at each Tuesday session, we will have guest speakers from campus units and student organizations. And we will have a panel discussion featuring international ambassadors. Then we will have breakout rooms led by student leaders where you can get your questions answered. So the 2 Excel at ND events today and next Tuesday will focus on discussions about academic life. And the following 2 Thrive at ND events will discuss your Notre Dame experience beyond the classroom. And of course, you're most welcome to attend all 4 sessions, as we're going to have different presenters for each session. Although some of the presenters will attend more than 1 event. So if you don't have time to attend all 4 sessions, I would recommend that you attend at least 1 Excel at ND event and maybe 1 Thrive at ND event. We're also going to post the recordings to the ISA website for those of you who cannot attend any of the sessions. So before we introduce today's guest speakers, I would like to invite all of you in this room to the incoming first-year students to participate in a fun project. Because we're very interested in learning about your thoughts, your feelings, your hopes and worries. And you probably want to know those things about your future classmates as well. So I am inviting the incoming first-year students in this meeting room to participate in a 2-question poll. So after you answer the questions, I'll share the results in the meeting, anonymous results, of course. Okay, so I am going to launch the poll. Okay, here. And as you can see, we have 2 multiple choice questions. The first question is, what are the top 3 things you're most excited about while studying at ND? And then the second question is, what are the top 3 things you are most nervous about while studying at ND? So apparently you can choose 3 answers for each of the question. But if you prefer, only 1 or 2 answers are completely fine. So if you cannot find any answer you like, feel free to choose other. We listed about 8 or 9 answers for each of the questions. So I like to invite all the first year incoming first year students, international students, to participate in this poll. Let's have maybe 1 minute so that people can have time to choose their answers.
And I think all of our first year students have answered.
Okay. Well, let's see the results. Are you curious to know what other people have chosen? Okay, let me end the poll. Okay, I'm going to share the results. Let's see if I can. Okay.
You want me to stop sharing so you can share? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so let's see the first question. What are the top 3 things you're most excited about while studying at ND? We have 2 top answers. The first one is exploring new disciplines that I'm not familiar with. And the other one is figuring out how my academic passions will lead me to professional paths. So and then the third top answer is gaining knowledge in my interesting disciplines. That's great. That's great. It's so good to know that you're very excited about exploring new disciplines and also gaining knowledge in your interested disciplines, and also figuring out how your academic passions will lead you to your interested professional paths. That's wonderful. Okay, then the second question is, what are the top 3 things you are most nervous about? Okay. Oh, it sounds like the English academic writing is one of the biggest concerns for the incoming international students. So maybe this concern might be able to be addressed during the panel discussion. Maybe one of our one or two or all of our international ambassadors also have the same experience of learning about English academic writing. And of course, the unfamiliarity with the US academic culture. I do remember our IAs mentioned this during our IA retreat in March. So probably during the panel discussion or in the breakout rooms, we can talk more about this. And the third one is deciding on my major. Sounds like that 1/3 of our students in this meeting room haven't decided on the majors yet. So maybe the our IAs could also share about their experience either during the panel discussion or in the breakout room. Okay, well, thank you so much for participating. This is wonderful. And thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing the results and move on to our next section. Okay. Okay, so next, I'd like to invite 2 of my colleagues from campus to join us in welcoming the class of 2027 international students. So the first guest speaker is Miss Gabby Ochoa Brenneman. She's a first-year advisor from First Year Advising. Please join me in welcoming Gabby.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can see. Okay. So hello, everybody, and welcome to the Notre Dame community. I am very very happy to be here and join you as you learn more about our community and what to expect when you come. It was really good to hear what is getting you excited about coming to Notre Dame in this coming year, your academic year, but also what are you nervous about. So my name is Gabriela. I am a first-year academic advisor at the university. And so what is an academic advisor at Notre Dame? So you will, every student during their first year, every student has an academic advisor that supports them through the whole year. It's a year of many transitions. It's a year where everything is different. And so we provide support for the students, not only academic support for all the academic decisions that you need to make, but also support in helping you find the resources that you might need on campus. Also, we support you through the process of discernment. So I heard that many of you are not sure about your major, and that is okay. And this is the beauty about your first year. You can explore different disciplines. You can learn about different disciplines and meet with different professors. We in the Center for the University Advising, we have a lot of different resources, and we can help you in the process of discernment and also in the process of making connections with professors, also connecting with clubs that focus on different disciplines. And as you start not just learning about your specific discipline or exploring disciplines, but also building a community on campus. By this time, you should have received already an email from your academic advisor, because every student has one. And so please respond to the email and make an appointment with your advisor during the summertime. The meeting that you have with your advisor during the summer is very important, because it is a meeting where you can talk about your schedule for the fall, and also start asking questions about the different majors, and talk about your academic goals and maybe the goals and the passions that you have in your life too. So please make an appointment for your advisor. During the academic year, once you come to campus, then you will be having at least 2 mandatory meetings with your advisor each semester. But you can meet with your advisor more than that. And we welcome that. We encourage that. You can always make an appointment in our website. This is an important website. I hope that you're already familiar with that it is advising.nd.edu. Please check that website, because it has a lot of different resources, and it also has the list of all the advisors. So you can find your advisor and you can make an appointment using the website too. And come see us for questions about your academic life, but also questions that you might have or concerns that you're having about other things on campus. So that's one of the things that we do, helping and supporting the students through the discernment process. We also provide support for you in terms of when some classes are not going the way you were expecting the classes to be going, just to help you make decisions. There are some important decisions that you need to make, and so we don't make the decisions for you, but we can provide information for you. We talk about the different possibilities so that you can make an informed decision. So your advisor is really your ally on campus, and can really be a person that walks with you and accompanies you through your first year at the university. So finally, I want to say that to please check also the timeline for the things that you need to complete during the summertime. So, the work that you do starts now. So there are a lot of things that you need to complete, like your schedule. You need to make sure that you have all the necessary documents already on file. Any credits that you might want to bring, and the process is listed in there. Different exams that you might want to take for credit. So all the information is in the timeline, and it really helps you because it goes month by month. So you can check, did I do everything I needed to be doing in June? And then what to expect. Remember that registration starts on July 18th. So that's also, are you ready for that? If you are not ready, if you have questions, contact your advisor. And so that you feel confident, you feel excited, and you're not wondering how to do something. You have a resource with us, and we are very, very happy to work with you. We're here for you. So
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Gabby, for speaking to our incoming international students and for trying to alleviate some of their concerns, and also for guiding them throughout the summer, and also telling them what to expect and what to do, not just in the summer, and also throughout the fall semester, and maybe in the spring as well. Thank you so much. So next, I'd like to invite Professor Yuko Kawamura from the Department of East Asian Languages and Cultures. So Professor Kawamura is going to introduce the Japanese language program at Notre Dame. Please join me in welcoming Professor Kawamura.
Professor, I will stop sharing my screen. I believe you have a presentation.
Yes. Do you see my slides? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And then, hello everyone. My name is Yoko Kawamura, and I teach Japanese language courses. Welcome to the University of University of Notre Dame. I'm new to this university. Anyway, do you watch anime? Do you play computer games created by Japanese companies, or do you like Japanese food? Many students learn Japanese because of their interest in Japanese culture or communication in Japanese, and also future employment. In addition to be able to understand the language, the learning Japanese, not other popular European languages, might help you stand out from crowd when applying for jobs and graduate schools. Also, Japanese language is very different from other languages. So students say that it develops their study skills, which carry over into the subject. And then next survey shows more benefit of learning Japanese. Like here, learning Japanese forces you to think differently and put things into different perspectives because of their uniqueness of Japanese language and Japanese culture. Also, Japan is a major world economy, and knowing Japanese can open many doors economically. So I'm here to encourage you to study Japanese. So we are going to have first year Japanese 1 this coming fall semester. The class meets 5 days a week. And then during the class, we focus on communication practice, communicative practice in pairs and groups. So because of that, many students become friends even outside classroom. So they do things outside the classroom. I think that's a great thing. And then one of the students who completed the first year Japanese said that Japanese classes were challenging, but most enjoyable classes. And then another student who completed the second year of Japanese said that, next quote, that I found a genuine enjoyment in watching anime and also realized how much I actually knew in the language. So if you are unable to fit 5 credit course into your schedule, that we have 3 credit courses, which is Elementary Japanese 1 and Elementary Japanese 2. Next Elementary Japanese 1 would be offered in the spring 2024. And I believe that many of you have the foreign language requirement, perhaps 2 years. After completing 2 years of Japanese, first year, second year Japanese 2, plus if you take 1 or 2 courses on Japanese literature or Japanese culture, you already have enough credit to graduate with minor in Japanese. So this past May, students who majored in computer science, business, econ, other areas, even the engineering student who graduated with a minor in Japanese. So you may be able to do that too. The Japanese courses are taught by 3 instructors. Nabusa Sensei is the coordinator. And if you have studied Japanese before, maybe at the high school or by yourself, and if you are interested in the placement test, please contact us. If you are interested in going to Japan to study in the future, or if you have any questions regarding the Japanese courses, please feel free to contact me. My name is Kawamura. It's right here. So we are hoping to see you in Japanese classes in the future. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Kawamura, for joining our meeting today, and also for inviting our incoming international students to enroll in the Japanese language courses. Yeah. Do you think you could share the link to the slides? Do you have a link to this of the slides? Is a Google Slides? If you do, do you mind sharing the link to the slides in chat? Maybe some of our students would like to learn more about the Japanese language program. Maybe contact your department later.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I am sorry. I did not put this into the Google, so that I do not have a link at this point.
Oh, that's fine. Or I don't know if maybe you could upload the file to chat, if you don't mind. Yeah, so that students can download the file if you want to learn more about the Japanese courses.
Sure, of course.
At the university. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next we're going to have a panel discussion led by my colleague Dulce and 3 international ambassadors. The international ambassadors are international upperclassmen students who will support the first year or incoming and first year international students continuously in the summer and also at the international student orientation and also throughout the fall. So their conversation today may speak to some of the excitements and the nerves of the students in this meeting room today. So please listen carefully. And now let's give the virtual floor to Dulce and our international ambassadors.
Thank you, Miranda, and thank you to both of our guest speakers. All of your information was super helpful. I know I learned a ton. And I think I want to take some Japanese language classes now. So we have 3 really awesome international students here joining us with us. But rather than me introducing them, I will let each of them introduce themselves. And then maybe just their information is on the screen, but it is nice to for them to let you know what their college is, what hall they're living in, and what country they're joining us from, and then what year they are entering this next academic year. So I will start with Amy because she's at the top of the list.
Hi, I'm Amy Gross. I'm a rising sophomore in the College of Science. I'm a physics major and I'm going to be starting a sustainability minor this year. I live in Howard Hall and I'm from Wicklow in Ireland.
Thank you, Amy. Davina?
Hey guys, I'm Divina Bajaj. I'm a rising sophomore and I am a finance and accounting major. I'm from Pune, India, and super excited to see you guys in the fall.
And Swinder?
Hello, everyone. My name is Swindar, and I'm in the College of Engineering. I'm majoring in computer science and possibly minoring in bioengineering. And I live in Capitol Hall as a rising sophomore. And I originally come from Shenzhen, China. And I'm really excited to meet you guys in the fall.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And so we just created some questions from what our students had told us from our own IAs who are here. These were some of the questions that they wish they had known and that they had the answers when they first started their careers here at Notre Dame. And so based on those questions, what we're going to do is we're going to go ask the question, and each panelist will have a chance to answer that question. And then if we have follow-ups from that questions we can ask. But so I will go ahead and start with Amy, and then I will ask the question. What was the most helpful academic resource for you during the first year?
Well, you probably hear it a lot, but office hours really are the best way to excel in a class. Sometimes there's office hours with professors, or I know for physics, we had a help session with our TA. And it really does make such a difference when you can just go in, you can talk with the professor, especially as international students that we may have different backgrounds of academics. We might not have done the same stuff as American students had done in their classes. So it can be really helpful to just go in, talk to the professor, get to know the course, ask them questions. But it also starts to sort of build a relationship with your professor and with your TAs. I also find it really helpful by going to these office hours and help sessions to meet other people in my course that were also struggling. I've got a good group of friends from my major that I've met through going to my TA help session. So yeah, probably office hours, help sessions, they're especially at the start, the most helpful resource that you'll have for classes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. And Davina will ask the same question of you. What was the most helpful academic resource for you during your first year?
The most helpful resource for me was the Sotheby's Center for Student Accessibility Services. I have some mental health conditions that required me some testing accommodations, and I didn't really work with them during the fall. And I feel like I struggled a lot with tests my first semester. But then coming in my second semester, I was recommended to them, and I spoke to a couple of people, and I was granted some testing accommodations, which really helped me, especially during finals. So I would definitely say if you feel like you're struggling mentally or physically and you feel like you aren't able to give tests with the rest of your class, just approach someone and people are more than ready to help you. And I feel like I noticed a huge jump in my scores and just confidence in giving tests. So that was definitely the most helpful resource for me.
Davina, that was great. Would you mind chatting that center that you referenced? Just dropping it in the chat, just so some of our students know what it's called. That would be great. Thank you, Davina. And Swindar, the same question for you. What was the most helpful academic research for you during the first year?
Yeah, as for me, I think it is the University Writing Center because I saw many students, they post that they're not that confident in English writing. As an international student, I also faced similar situations. I struggled in my seminars, everyone have to take university seminars. And also other related writing classes. So I will definitely strongly recommend you guys to try University Writing Center a couple weeks earlier before you have to review your paper, because as for me, it sometimes, you have to fill out the time slots, and sometimes it's just no space left when you want to pick up a spot. So it's going to be chaotic. So I strongly recommend you guys to use this resource, and it's just 1 hour paper review with some senior or junior students. They already have a bunch of experience, improve the writing structures and grammar mistakes. That is extremely helpful for my papers last semester. So that was the most helpful academic resource. Yeah.
Awesome, Swindar, great answer. And I think Miranda already chatted the University Writing Center that you were referencing to. I know that from the poll, the English academic writing was one of those worries. So thank you, Sundar, for that answer. We will move on to the next question. Was there anything surprising about the academic culture at Notre Dame that you needed to adapt to? Davina, we'll start with you.
Okay, so I feel like generally when you're coming into college, people kind of say like, oh, you're barely going to have any interactions with your professors, or you're just going to be doing everything yourself. And while that is partly true, I feel like at ND, professors really want to help you get to the best of your potential. So they're very approaching, and even scheduling meetings with them out of office hours just to talk about maybe a career in their field that you're interested in. Everyone is super approachable. And especially with a lot of class sizes here being smaller, it's really easy for you to make that kind of relationship with your professor. And even if it is a larger class, they're really open to getting to know you as a person. And it's not just you sitting in this large lecture hall having no idea who's teaching you. So I think it's a great environment. And something that I struggled with was approaching my professors a lot. I feel like I wouldn't write emails to them. I wouldn't try to build relationships with them, even though they were so welcoming. So I feel like they're very different from like larger colleges or larger universities. And it's definitely something to make use of.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Davina. Amy, was there anything surprising about the academic culture at ND?
I don't know if it's exactly surprising, but it did take some getting used to. The fact that a lot of the classes, it's like built up over time. So your grade is like taken from participation, from like midterm exams, from final exams, from homework assignments. And I just find that was very different to what I was used to. At home in Ireland, we do one exam at the end of the year, and that was like your entire grade. But it's slightly different here, where a lot, like in most classes, it's sort of a build up of papers, exams, homework that you've done throughout the year that then goes towards your final grade. And why that can sound stressful, it also kind of helped, I found, because there's not as much pressure on that like last week of final exams. You kind of like work hard throughout the year, and you can like build up your grade.
Thank you for that, Amy. And Sundar, anything surprising for you?
Yeah, as for me, I feel like I would like to say the most surprising is about forming like study groups, because I take a lot of like large classes like calculus, general chemistry, like those large classes. So sometimes it's really lonely, like when you are like attend the classes and you don't know anyone in the room, especially for international students, really lonely, I feel like. So it's going to be easier like if you like willing to open the conversations, and also like if you are struggling with the classes material, you can just directly go to the TA help sessions, like and also form friends with them. Like like maybe you can just sit with somebody, and you guys can just start the conversation, and kind of like maybe you guys have similar situations, similar problems, or you guys even in the same dorm. So you can have this relationship. And like, I think this is really rewarding for me when I was in first year. And also I make some really good friends in this journey. So I strongly recommend you guys to consider forming a study groups, like if you guys, need some helps, and especially peer support. Yeah.
Awesome. Such great answers. All right, we will start with Amy. What was the biggest academic challenge for you during the first year, and how did you deal with it?
I'd say the biggest challenge I found was that it's kind of accepting that what the classes and like the stuff that you've done in your schools before coming into college is different, slightly different than what like American students have done. And for the first while in my like calc classes, physics classes that I was doing, the American students had done similar stuff before, and it was all new to me. And it took a while to kind of accept that, okay, I have worked hard before. It's just I've done some different stuff, but I can use that stuff that I've like learned before. And then like I kind of dealt with it by going to office hours, by going to help sessions. There's the Learning Resource Center. You can get tutors for different subjects. I found that my first year academic advisor, like I became like really good friends with her, and I would be able to email her if I had some questions about like where to get information. She like told me to go to different tutoring, to go to this writing center. So I think I found at the start the biggest challenge I had was accepting that I might need a bit of extra help in some subjects, but like it wasn't like a flaw. It was just I'd learned different information before coming here. But yeah, definitely like asking for help and then like you will receive help, and it like that really helps me.
Awesome. I love that, Amy, just accepting that things are different, accepting that this is completely different. That's great advice. We just have to accept things the way they are sometimes. Thank you, Amy. Sundar, biggest academic challenge for you?
Yeah, from my perspective, I would like to say, because I think I choose hard classes because of my research interest, not for my major. I choose the really hard classes for my free elective, and it's super hard for me. It was organic chemistry, but I don't take much chemistry class when I was in high school. So it's kind of like reform my study habits somehow. Like I have to do preview and review like before and after the classes, and I have to reflect like how to improve my study habits, stuff like that. So I feel like sometimes choose a hard class will really help you to get out of your comfort zone and kind of like make your study habits more efficient. So I would definitely recommend if you guys like want to challenge yourself a little bit in college, because it's going to be a journey that you will make mistakes and you will learn from mistakes. So I think that will be really rewarding. Yeah.
Awesome. Sundar, yours is challenging people. I love Amy's accept that things are different. Sundar's challenge yourself. These are all such great pieces of advice. And then Davina, I believe, what was your biggest academic challenge?
So I think for me, it was midterm week. So during finals, you have like a dedicated reading week before with no classes and no submissions. But midterm week, you're in the middle, you have so many submissions and group projects, and then you're getting tested in every class and nothing stops. You still have to be involved with all the clubs that you're a part of, and like nothing changes. Back in high school, I was used to having like a dedicated week for midterms, a couple of days before that just to study the way we have here for finals. So it was really hard trying to like juggle everything and still keep up like good grades, because a lot of classes do put a lot of the weight of grading on midterms. I think Google Calendar at that point became my best friend, and it was really easy once I started categorizing things I had to do and keeping up with everything on my calendar, and just realizing how to take breaks and like go with the flow.
Awesome. I love it. Accepting, challenging, organizing. That Google Calendar is magical. I agree. Awesome. Thank you. And then our last question here, and we will start with Sundar. If you were to provide one piece of academic advice to incoming students, what would that be?
I think it's built up upon my last answer. Like just try to reflect your study habits. Like sometimes maybe take 10 minutes every day, just jot down some stuff that you've done for this day, and also like maybe something you can improve for the future, like especially for some hard classes that you feel you are really struggle with. Like just start it, and also like reflect like what you've done, and also like how to improve. That will be really helpful. And I just keep this habit when I like face some really hard classes, and kind of like it's like a marathon. Like you have to run every day. Sometimes you feel it's really exhausted, but I think it's a really good habit, like if you trying to keep it with your college life. So I definitely recommend it. And yeah.
Thank you, Sundar. Same question for you, Davina.
I would say don't be ashamed about dropping a class. There are so many classes offered by ND. Sometimes one class probably just isn't the right fit for you. And there's probably like hundreds of others that are. If it's not fitting in with your schedule, if you feel like you're giving more than the required amount of time that you need to it, or if you feel like maybe it's getting to your GPA too much, just talk to your advisor about it. And it doesn't affect your schedule, or it doesn't create like a big black hole in your schedule if you drop like a singular class. So definitely like don't feel guilty about it.
It's awesome. I'm hearing a lot of good things to bring up to your academic advisor if you're feeling any of this. Okay, and so our last question for Amy.
And I would say to like really take advantage of everything that you have on campus. Like this, like it's going to be an amazing experience. I've loved my first year. And so there's like, if you are struggling, there are so many things out there to help you. You can, like, as I was saying before, there's the office hours, there's help sessions, there's a learning resource center, the writing center, your advisors, and everyone really does want to like for you to succeed. So I think really taking advantage of that, and like, this is like your first year. This is a time where you can like learn how to learn those study habits, learn how to organize. So I think really taking advantage of that and like sort of accepting that. And I find that really helped me.
Thank you so much. These were all such great answers. Our IAs are incredible. You're meeting them here for the first time. You're going to get a chance to interact with these during International Student Orientation. So thank you so much for your thoughtful answers. We have such a small group of students that have joined us today. So rather than having 3 breakout rooms, we're just going to have 1 breakout room. And so basically, if you're an IA or an undergrad, a new undergrad student, join that breakout room for about maybe 10 minutes, Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe about 10 minutes.
Yeah. 10,
And
12
this
minutes.
just,
Yeah.
wonderful. This will just give you an opportunity to continue this conversation at a more personal level. We would join, but you obviously are the experts, or IAs are obviously the experts, and our students are really eager to hear from that student experience. So, so just join that breakout room, but in 10 minutes, I will call you back, and then we will end the session. We'll end the session together.
Okay, then I'll open the breakout room. Yeah, Dulce, go ahead and wrap up the session. If you like.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, IAs, for being such an awesome group of panelists and answering some really important questions for our incoming students. For our incoming students, just a reminder that we will have these sessions again. We will have an Excel at ND, the same format as today, different panelists, although the same campus partners. And we will have that next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. If we can't make that one, that's okay. It'll follow the same format and basically discuss the same topic, but we would love to have you join us for Thrive at ND. And that will talk a little bit more about campus and community life here. And again, same format, 3 amazing panelists that will join us and answer some of your questions. And that's pretty much it for us today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming back to say goodbye and end this session here. We hope you have an amazing day, amazing morning or evening or night, whatever the time may be. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. It's at nd.edu. You probably already have our information. You can find us on our website. Thank you so much. We look forward to having you on campus.
Thank you so much, Dulce. Thank you so much, the international ambassadors and all the students. Thank you so much for being with us today. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ladies. You're rock stars.
Yay. Bye. Okay, perfect.
All right. We'll see you at 10.